it's been a while since I've done the last chapter. I'm afraid Maxie here is not feeling the best. That's why he's got this lovely cone on. So he will be sat here. If he starts to cry, I'm going to have to put him down though. So I'm afraid we're going to have to just try and do the best we can. But when we'd left it, you come and have a sit down, pal, okay? That's okay. So he feels a bit sorry for himself. Where we left it, Ben had found out that his granny was obviously a jewel thief. Stolen all these things for many, many years. And he wanted to be involved, but his granny said no and it was too dangerous. He'd also, try and cover his tracks, had pretended to his mum and dad that he was interested in a career in ballroom dancing, which was what they loved. And he was not interested in a career in ballroom dancing. This was a lie. So, we've left it there. Now, the important thing that had just happened, I just had to read back and check. Oh, God. I don't like it when he jumps up in case he hurts himself. So, the important thing that has happened is that Ben is a big fan of plumbing. Excuse me. Come on, pal. Ready? You ready? Is he ready? Come on. Ben is a big fan of plumbing, and he had found the plans to a big plumbing pipe underneath Buckingham Palace. So he thinks that he's got a plan to help him and his grandma steal the crown jewels. And again, I'm sorry for any banging around. He's feeling very sorry for himself and he just wants me to play with him. However, I'm going to read this first. It's okay. Do you want to hear some story? Do you want to hear some story? Okay? Right. Chapter 17, Planning the Heist. We'll try one more time with him on the bench. Maxie, come on. Let's put this here. Okay? And let's put you here. Ready? 1, 2. 1. No? Oh, I think he's quite happy. I think he's settled. So you can go on. Okay. For the first time in his life, Ben skipped to school the following morning. Through his love of plumbing, the previous night he had discovered that the Tower of London had a weakness. The most impregnable building in the world, where some of the country's most dangerous criminals had been imprisoned and executed, had a fatal flaw. A large sewage pipe that led directly into the River Thames. That ancient tube would be his and Granny's way in and out of the tower. It was a quite brilliant plan, and Ben's body couldn't hide its excitement at this amazing discovery. That's why he was skipping. Now he couldn't wait until Friday night, when his mum and dad would once again pack him off to Granny's. Then he would be able to convince the old lady that together they really could steal the crown jewels. Ben would bring along the diagram in Plumbing Weekly of the Tower of London sewage system to show her. The two of them could stay up all night and work out every detail of the most daring robbery of all time. The problem was that a whole fat week of lessons and teachers and homework stood now between him and Friday night. However, Ben was determined to use the week at school wisely. In his IT lesson, he looked up the crown jewels and memorised every detail on the webpage. In history, he asked his teacher questions about the Tower of London and exactly where in the building the jewels were kept. That would be the Jewel House for all you fact fans out there. In geography, he found an atlas of the British Isles and pinpointed precisely where on the Thames the tower is situated. In PE, he didn't accidentally on purpose forget his kit, like usual. Instead, he did extra press-ups so his arms would be strong enough to pull himself up the sewage pipe that led into the tower. In maths, he asked the teacher how many packets of Rolos you could buy with £5 billion, which is what the crown jewels were said to be worth. Rolos were Ben's absolute favourite sweet. The answer is 10 billion packets, or 24 billion actual Rolos. That is enough for the year at least. And Raj was sure to throw in a few extra packets for free. In his French class, Ben learned how to say, "I know nothing about the theft of, how you say, the crown jewels. I am but a poor French peasant boy." Just in case he needed to pretend that he was a poor French peasant boy in order to escape from the scene of the crime. In Spanish, he learned to say, "I know nothing about how you say, the crown jewels. I am nothing but a poor Spanish peasant boy." Just in case he needed to pretend he was a poor Spanish peasant boy in order to escape from the scene of the crime. In German, he learned to say, well, I'm sure you get the idea. In science, Ben quizzed his teacher about how you might be able to penetrate bulletproof glass. Even if you got into the jewel house, removing the jewels wasn't going to be easy, as they were kept behind glass that was inches thick. In his art class, he made a detailed scale model of the Tower of London made of matches, so he could roleplay the daring robbery in miniature. The week absolutely flew by. Never had school been so much fun. Most importantly, for the first time in his life, Ben couldn't wait to spend time with his granny. By the end of school on Friday afternoon, Ben felt he had all the data he needed to put the daring plan into place. The story of the theft of the crown jewels would be on the TV news for weeks, on every website, and emblazoned across every front page of every newspaper in every country in the whole world. However, no one would suspect that the thieves were in fact a little old lady and an 11-year-old boy. They were going to get away with the crime of the century. And that takes us up to chapter 18. So you can check next time. I'll try and put them on quicker so that you don't have a massive wait in between, because that wasn't very fair. So I'll put on the next chapter for you soon. Keep an eye out. We're on to chapter 18, Visiting Hours.